Konbanwa! Servus! Herzlich willkommen zu... Ich wollte gerade sagen Shin Megami Tensei. Falsches Genre, falsches Franchise, absolut falsches Spiel. Herzlich willkommen zu Mahoutsukai no Yoru. Oder Witch on the Holy Night. The imaginary element known as magical energy was like a light that could only slip its fantasy through the network of order at the moment of ignition. Giving form to his non-existent illusions, invading reality was something the universe did not allow.
とは言っても、エーテルは基本何にでもできるんで、大元が嘘なんだっけ。魔力だけで構成されたものは幻想扱いされて急速に消えていくとか。典型的な結界、茨の壁とかはもともと茨を生やしておいて魔力で一気に成長強化してるものだし、魔力っていうのは結局使い勝手のいいガソリン兼事象に火をつける火花ってわけで。
Interesting.
なんて言いつつ架空要素云々より基本的な回路の接続と魔力を加工して弾くことぐらいしかできないのよね、私。
But all I can do is connect the basic circuit and process mission entry to a projectile. Also Gandia? Laughing to herself, she looked for a bound field or something similar, more suited to her current ability. The identity of the witness was still unknown, but they were a classmate of Oko. She had a number of pretexts by which to lure them out. The problem was after that.
そうなると問題は命中率よね。一撃で決めないと逃げられちゃうだろうし。
Sie plant tatsächlich Mörder. To be honest, she wasn't confident she could handle this smoothly without Alice's support. But Oko saw no reason to ask for help, given that the target in question was a regular bystander. Fledgling as she was, she still had the pride as a mage. She continued to turn through the pages repeatedly. In the midst of the fluttering sound of fumbling through the volume, Oko suddenly stopped her finger at a certain page. She smiled to herself. It was a simple formula that she had tucked away somewhere in the recesses of her memory, a spell of simple distraction.
作ればいいのよ。狩りをする時の常套手段じゃない。獲物を逃げられないようにするのは。
Warum nicht, dass es ein Hit losgewehrt? She placed the book by the book, closed it, and got up to return to her room. Suddenly, she felt someone watching her. Through the window, she saw her in the night, a girl staring back with a cold-headed expression. The girl's face was her, the passion undoubtedly her own. She began planning how to erase the witness. Though, to say it was something as elaborate as the plan was overkill. This was just a job. She was going to make a cage and then lure her prey into it. There was no getting around its premeditated violence. Spoken hope above returned some warmth to her child heart. Ich wette, Toko beobachtet sie. About 20 minutes had passed since she gave Alice the privilege of the first of the hot water. Alice tended the bath quickly, finishing well under 10 minutes. Her roommate was the type that could not understand the spirit of the bath, treating it as nothing more than a necessity for looking after one's body. For Alice, the concept of staying in the hot spring inn sounded more like a chore than anything, though in this regard I would have to agree. Dito.
浴場はカラッと。あれ、今に電気ついてる。
It was unusual for Alice to sit in the drawing room after her bath. On nights when she had nothing to discuss, it was his time to return directly to her bedroom.
アリス、いるの？
Alice nodded. With a notebook in hand, it appeared that Alice had been waiting for Oko.
私も信用ないな、ほんと。
Oko scratched her head in exasperation. Was it Alice was worried about her, or had no faith in her? Her expression was so calm, Oko could hardly figure what she was thinking.
方針なら決まったけど、聞く？
Bin gespannt, was Alice dazu sagen wird.
その顔を見れば聞かなくてもわかるわ。迷いがなくなったのはいいことだけど、悪い癖ね、青子。
Okay, da bin ich nicht erwartet. Alice let out a small sigh. It was unusual for Alice to make such a display of a disappointment.
ええ、騙し討ちは趣味じゃないから。殺すにしても正々堂々、正面から理由を言った後にする。それならすっぱり後腐れもないし。文句ある？
文句はないわ。そういうの好きか嫌いかはこの際関係ないでしょうし。けど
確実性はどうかってことでしょ。私いまいち命中率悪いし、その辺の問題は場所選びでフォローしようかなと。私はアリスのようにはいかないから、物理的に逃げられない場所にしようと思うんだけど、何かアイディアない？
Alice nodded and thought. The thing had gently rested her lips, indicated that the question was to her liking. Ich würde ja sagen, bei Ihnen zu Hause, aber das ist das Problem. Ja, dann weißen die Leute, dass der beim letzten Mal bei Ihnen war. Und so, das heißt, das schadet schon mal aus. Vielleicht eine verlassene Baustelle?
鏡はどう？鏡の国なら永遠に閉じ込めていられるけど。
Okay, das klingt interesting.
あんた、そういうところ常識ないわよね。
She fronted Alex bad taste. Bad taste? Also ich finde, das klingt echt interessant. It was a kind of idea her roommate found to be inspired, but Oko knew was out of the question. Oko was looking for a natural bound field she could prepare, not a real bothering on true magic that she couldn't create to begin with. Ja, true magic.
なら他を当たるのね。でもここを使うのだけはやめてちょうだい。
言われなくても分かってるって。
Oh Mann, Alice hat echt wenig Vertrauen in sie.
あー、けどそうね。ミラーハウスはいいアイディアかも。
Elke smirked and shifted the bed. This away from the wall she was resting on. Ein Vergnügungspark?
サンキュー、アリス。全体の流れは出来上がったわ。ほんと、こういうのってダメ元でも相談してみるものよね。
Now a good mood Oko retrieved from the drawing room. Alice tried and failed to visualize what kind of blueprint Oko had drawn up in her mind, but whatever it was, it appeared to be in thought through kind Oko was good at. Oko had headed for the bathroom, humming to herself as she went. A year and a half of sharing a living space had taught Alice something. When Oko was like he was in a good of a mood, only deep trouble could follow.
青子一人に任せていいのかですって。
It was unclear how long the bird had been in the drawing room. Chippy and Alice, the robin-like bird, pranked across the furniture as it was its property.
そうね。彼女が一人でやると言ったのだから任せるのが正しい信頼関係なんでしょうけど。
The girl in black raised her arm. The bird chirping once again, a light on her outstretched affectionate finger.
話だけど、 信頼と信用はまた違う話よね。
War klar, dass Alice beobachtet wird. The bird puffed out of his soft chest in agreement, and Alko was none the wiser to Ruben's rather unsettling comments. The following day was a typically overcast one. The day classes ended and had started uneventfully. Winter break was just around the corner, and with it its final exams. Also, Misaki High prided itself on discipline. It was still a private school, and such promoted a culture of independence among students. Industrious students had a place to explore the side of themselves, under the guardianship of the student council president. More easygoing students could spend the time after school as they wished, as long as they were mindful of personal responsibility. In fact, the fact that the poster boy of independence was the student council vice president indicated just how vast the spectrum was. Toimaru Tsukichi threw open the door to the satellite student council room, the rumored location for the secret meetings. Despite all appearances, he was like the student council vice president, who also happened to be the poor soul responsible for executing the student council's dirty work. One person was waiting for him in the cramped room. The student council president, Aoka Osaki, sat in previous view in a folding chair, glaring at Mimaru and his boisterous entrance. So as not to succumb to Oko's oppressive silence, Mimaru opened with a casual small talk.
お疲れ様。ところであんた、何しに来たのか分かってる？
まあな。ただ、事務的に話すのって寒いじゃねえか。少しぐらい世間話でもしねえとつまらねえだろ。
Tomato closed the door and sat down across from Aoko. He was holding a blue envelope.
こういう時は無駄口は叩かない方がいいわよ。なんとなくプロっぽいでしょ。
なる。いや。
Toimaru was halfway to agreeing with Aoko before he caught himself and began to shake his head. As much as Toimaru enjoyed the lack of a red tape in his new line of work, he was not ready to turn full spy on his first day on the job.
それで調べ終わったの？
ああ、ついさっき最後の聴取を済ませてきた。詳しいことはその封筒に入ってる。お前から渡された例のファイルもそんな。
He tossed the envelope onto the table. Aoko picked it up and began to scan through the documents that were inside. She entered her own little world, not sparing the slightest bit of attention for Tobimaru. If the knowing other people were a skill, she would be a master at it.
なあ。
何？
一つ聞きたいんだけどよ。
だから何？
The room was filled with chilling silence. Aoko continued, reading with an accrual of emotion upon her face. Though Tomaru kept up an air of indifference, his stare with a mind fixed intent on her.
そういうの作って楽しい？
楽しいわけないでしょ。こんなの作ったところであんまり使う機会なんてないんだから。
そうか。ならいい。
Whether or not he was convinced, Toimaru stood up from his chair with a disappointed expression.
最後まで読めばわかるだろうが、あんまり確証は取れなかったぜ。というより、一昨日あの辺りにいた生徒はいないって話になりそうだ。まあ断定はできないけどな。
No longer concerned over his task, Toimaru headed towards the door, as if to say it was out of his hands.
そうだ。そういえば、一人だけ該当しなかった奴がいる。季節外れの転入生までは、青崎も調べきれなかったみてえじゃねえか。
Urkel raised her head ever so slightly. He was right, this transfer was not included within the scope of investigation.
その字に関しては調べてないぜ。まあ、あいつならいつだろうと遅くまでバイトだろうが。いや、人殺しを見たなんてこと口走ってるようじゃ。家で悪い夢でも見てたのかもしれねえか。
Tomato chiefly left the student council room. Nani? Simultaneously, Uncle felt her fingers go numb, and the document she was holding spilled all over the table. She broke out into a cold sweat and tried to tell herself that there must be some kind of mistake. However, the uncomfortable feeling in her gut would simply not go away. Perhaps her intuition was almost always the right times like these. And yet she knew what she had to do. She would not have hesitated to kill Tobimaro if he had been the witness. But if it was him, just consider the possibility caused her blood to run cold. Money be dead for the year. Orko put her forehead in her hands and began to brood. And then suddenly, let us talk choice. You will always be faced with choices. A virtuous fool and a wicked sage. You cannot save both. You must pick one. That is the freedom granted to you. 2 years earlier, Orko muttered the words offered by her grandfather the day she replaced her elder sister as a successor and let out a sigh of lament. She laughed at her own intuition, but it was no joke. If only those words had never been said. Orko looked up his student council room and left for the day, calmly as thought nothing untoward had happened. She greeted the students as she passed her in the hallways. She almost was shocked by how natural this seemed. There was still plenty of students at the school. The grounds were noisy with the chattering of the students who had finished the day but had yet to head home. Others still had club activities. The grey sky looked ready to pour, but nobody seemed to pay it any mind. Amidst the karma, Orko hastened to the school gate. She passed by some of the students in animated conversation. They seemed to be talking about their after-school plans. They were adamant about maximizing their free time. She could not figure out how they could possibly be so irresponsible, focused on fun, but at the same time was in no mood to make fun of her or feel envious of them. 2 short years prior, she had been just like them. She retied her scarf as the time more gently to give her off an air of solitude, but she was fooling no one. After all, the people who fake solitude are really masking its rejection. The area by school gate was busier than usual. A group of boys appeared to be huddled behind it. The transparent attempt to be created terms of both location and loudness of voices did nothing to hide the fact that they were noisily arguing about a girl standing alone on the other side of the street. The girl was cloaked in a black cape. At first glance it could have been mistaken for normal attire, but those from Misaki could tell that she wore no uniform of prestigious girls' school. Said school had no connection with Misaki High in any way, shape or form. The schools were miles apart, both physically and spiritually. A member of the school's student body was a rare sight, as the majority were focused to live in their school dorm. Ger Girls' Academy had a reputation as a school for princesses. It was rare indeed for one to be lumbering with the common folk. That alone would have been enough to cause the rucks among the boys, but this girl looked the epitome of class. One could not help but describe the standing figure as charming. The way she silently mentioned, motionlessly waited as a reminiscent of a meticulously component portrait. Orko took one look at her before instantly recalling that one word, solitude.
まったくうちの男子どもは家に帰りもせず陰でこそこそやってるのはそういうこと。
Disgusted, Orko barked through the gate. At the point she would normally head home, but today she crossed the street towards the waiting girl.
あれなるは生徒会長様。くそ、おっぱらう気なのかよ。痛いんならいつまでだっていさせてあげればいいじゃんか。てか怒られるのあの天使。
The president versus the angel.
生徒でも校門前にいるぐらいなら別に問題はないと思う。青子女子は容赦ねえからな。下手すると平手だぜ。
The boy started in the mouth behind their back. Not in the mood to shut them up, Aoko walked right up to the girl and offered an informal wave.
どうしたのアリス。こんなところに来たって何も面白いことはないって言ったのに。
ありえねえ。
Aoko and the boys at the gate lose their collective minds and did their best to ignore them.
あのことを確かめに。青子、あの人たち邪魔なんだけど。
分かってる。今追っ払うから。
They constantly added a small voice. Aoko spoke loud and clear. Naturally, it was on purpose, so as to deal with the rift throughout by the gate all at once.
会長こっち来んぞ。おい押すなよ。後ろのやつどけ。いやでもあの子会長と知り合いなんでしょ。うまく会長に紹介してもらうとか。さすが一年坊主。まだ戦場の現実ってのを理解してね。よし、死の間際までいい夢見ろよ。
Geil. Perhaps because too many of them gathered in one place, the mob entered a freeze panic as they tried to escape. Aoko addressed them all.
さーて、部活動があるわけでもなし、ただ家に帰るだけの帰宅部の皆さん、こんなところで何を集まってるのか教えてくれる？
The newcomers was then stared daggers at the boys.
何しろ試験前だもの。身になることなら私も教えてほしいけど、まさかガン首並べて女学院のお嬢様を眺めてただけ、声をかける勇気もなくて眺めてただけなんてことは。
Not one of them was brave enough to admit that this hit the nail on the head. If any of them had such courage, they would have already been chatting the young lady up.
いや、僕教室にちょっと忘れ物が。こんなオチならダメ元で玉砕しとくんだった。天文部に行って双眼鏡借りるのどうだ。屋上からお顔を賜るとか。天文部にそんなのねえよ。あるとしたら野鳥同好会じゃね。
それ先月会長が潰したじゃん。鳥めでてる暇があるなら彼女作れって。
ああ、彼女作れですか。くそ、じゃあな会長、また明日。
And with those also charming remarks, the boys scattered with their tails between their legs. Geil.
青子。あ、わかる？
August's response slipped out all too easily. In truth, there were not that many bad apples at Maiseki High, and dealing with them wasn't really that bad.
で、ここまで出向くってことは何か分かったの？
結界に残っていた気配の識別は、あとはここで確かめればいいだけよ。
そう。
下校時刻から。
So she'll be here for roughly an hour. Staying in the same place for an hour would be taxing for someone as sensitive to code as Alice.
いいわね、無理させて。
別に好きでやってることだ。
As she spoke, her black eyes were fixed upon the gate and the students passing through it. She had likely been observing the gate in this manner for the past
私を待
hour.
ってたわけじゃないんでしょ。今からでも付き合うわ。
Alice nodded in assent. If Alice was still here, it meant she had not found the witness yet. If she had found the student, Alice would have already had gone home ahead of Oko and begun the research of the student's background.
私の方はダメだった。
Lüge. She reported the truth to the investigation. Alice remained silent. With that conversation ended, leaving the two to silently endure the freezing wind. The silent stake dragged on endlessly. Students continued to pass the gate, each shocked at the sight of the unusual combo, and head home. For 20 minutes, Oko let a sigh escape her mouth, perhaps from boredom, perhaps from the cold, or perhaps from both.
ねえ、アリス。帰り黎明に寄ってかない？
Oh Mann. Das wird doch schön werden. Alka quickly turned to Alice to catch her reaction. Dawn was the name of one of our favorite coffee shops. Schweigen. Offering no clear indication as that she was critical of Oko's blasé attitude or agreeing to her whims, Alice gaze shifted ever so slightly. Oko followed her stare. Warte, ist das Suchios Stimme? Bin mir nicht sicher. The sudden voice took her off guard. There was only one person who spoke with this gentle, good-natured tone.
そう。やっぱそうなるわけか。
Sie hat's herausgefunden. Turn her back at Alice. Oko moved her focus to the newly appeared student.
それで、今日は何の用？
All politeness flew out of the window. Already in a bad mood, Oko's mood plumped the longer she looked at Sojiro. The subtlety of her expression, however, was lost on him.
いや、これから駅前で水泳部の部長と待ち合わせなんだけど、そのことでお礼を言っておきたくて。
Well, that was completely unexpected. Thanks to joining a club, Oko had a hunch that he was about to say something brainless.
ふーん。お礼ってお礼参りってこと？
Fortunately, Tsushima was completely unaware of the more sinister implications to the word payback.
よくわからないけど、そんな大したことじゃないよ。ただ、水泳部は夏までそう忙しくないって話だったから。
Tsushima was just about to thank for the creation of a club that would not take up much of his time, and Oko cut him off with an expression of disinterest.
当然でしょ。幽霊部員になりそうな生徒なんて紹介できないから。忙しいあなたでも務まりそうな場所があったから口に出しただけよ。
なるほど、無駄がないね。
His obligation for a set Oko will to fight. Finding a suitable club in negotiation with its captain had been an efficient use of her time at all.
とにかくお世話になったから、それで礼を言っときたくて。
Tsushiro gratefully dipped his head, but not before the flustered Oko stopped him.
どうしてよ。今あなたにそんなことされても迷惑だから。それで、水泳部はどう？やっていけそう？
Ich frag mich, ob ein Anime von Bosuke no Yoro rauskommt. An awkward infiltrated her previously sharp gaze. Tsushiro was able to pick up on the odd change in her behavior, but could not provide its reason. So he simply stared at what he knew so far and reported the most recent information he had.
水泳部はクビになった。
なんでよ
Oko instinctively shouted at the unexpected response. Like a human check in the box. The unexpected development threw her mind at easy, and she probably forgot the complicated feelings she had been wrestling with. Ich vermute, er kann nicht schwimmen.
だって今から待ち合わせだって。
それはこれからヤシロギの温水プールに連れて行ってくれるからだよ。
So she'll start this very better faculty to the still reeling Oko.
話が繋がらない。そこまでうまくいってるのに、どうして入部を拒否されるのや。
そりゃ俺が泳げないからだろ。
As I said. Oko reached up to her fingers and pinched the bridge at her nose as she processed his answer.
しずきくん、昨日の私の質問は覚えてる？走るのか泳ぐのか、どっちがいいかってやつ。私の記憶は正しいけど、一応確認しておくわね。あなた、確かに泳ぐ方だって言ったけど。
ああ、昔から泳げないのはなんとか克服したかったんだ。反対に走る方は得意だけど。
How she spent Oko finally understood.
俺が1年なら1から鍛えてくれたらしいんだけど、あと3ヶ月で3年になる身分なのに金槌の部員は雇えないそうだ。けど部長が親身になってくれて、これから泳ぎを教えてくれることになったんだよ。
So Chio's words were spoken from a place of joy, effectively failed to reach Oko.
つまり欠陥品を売りつけたってわけか。こりゃ水泳部の部長に合わす顔がないっと。ちょっと待った。しずきくん、水泳部の部長って。
She stopped herself, short of a girl. She was afraid of how they might look, that she might not be able to regain herself if she started.
もういいわ。気持ちは分かったから、どこか遠くにいてくれない？少し疲れてて、とてもじゃないけどあなたの相手はしていられないの。
飛び丸もそんなことを言ってたな。青崎は昨日と今日珍しく疲れてるって。
ちょっとね。でもいいの。解決したみたいだから。それよりしずきくんはどう見える？私そんなに疲れて見えるのかな？
Why should I ask him this? Blurting out things for no reason and on impulse. This was not too usual for Oko. Perhaps it was also because she realized that this would be the last chance to have a normal conversation. After a few moments of consideration, Soshiro continued up a line that cut straight through the tension.
そうだな。疲れているというより生き生きしているように見える。仕方なく畑を耕していた狼が久しぶりに狩りに出ることになって機嫌を上げている感じだ。
He seemed so cheerful, like he was happy for her. Without thinking, Oko's hands went to her cheeks. If what she said was true, then she was grinding from ear to ear. There was just no way she would have made such a mistake.
とにかくありがとう。じゃあまた明日。
Perhaps still not comfortable enough to wave to her, he said his goodbye with sincerity in his voice and smiled and took his leave.
待って。こんな話があるの。
Who called out after him. Her voice was cold as she had acknowledged herself for having been somewhat affable earlier.
意味のない例え話よ。そうね。あなたが空腹で死にそうな時、目の前に同じように空腹で死にそうな2匹の動物がいるとするわ。しずきくんに銃をあげる。それでどちらかの動物を撃って。右はライオンで、左は子猫。It
was a fable-like moral dilemma, especially the way in which it was cruel and rather preachy. The kind that if you thought too hard about it, you would never find an answer. So Shiro answered quickly and calmly.
いや、撃たないと思うよ。だって自分の好きにしていいんだろ。それにほら、空腹ならお互い様だ。
Was not the least faced by the dilemma. He gave the most innocent response, so innocent in fact that it would give anyone pause.
長生きするわ、あなた。
セリフだな。そんなことを言われたのは多分君が初めてだ。
And on his face was a smile, wholly out of sync with his comment.
何よそれ。
She regretted stopping him. If only she had just watched him go, the conversation would have never happened. So Shizuki made his way down the sloped street. Today, just like every day, he probably had to work late again. Only Oko and Alice remained, with Alice doing what she could to simply blend in.
つくづくこっちのペースを乱してくれるわね。あの人畜無害の田舎者は。
Oko clenched her right fist tightly as she cursed it out aloud, aiming to prevent herself from screaming at the top of her lungs. Whenever the scream would be directed towards Tsuchiro or towards herself was a never matter entirely. Oko had Alice's soft voice behind her. Oko knew that she was going to say, and she had doing for an entire time, ever since Alice having showing no reaction to any of the other students changed her expression upon seeing Tsuchiro.
言わなくてもいい。あいつでしょ、目撃者は。
Her voice was cold as ice. It was the voice of something talking about a complete stranger. The lion and the kitten. There were pros and cons to choosing either of those animals, the point being that she had asked him to choose one of them. In terms of risk, the lion was the more dangerous choice. The instant the gun was pointed at it, there was a chance it would fight back. Those who chose the lion required more courage, but any sense of guilt that came with holding a gun would be forgotten. Lions are fierce creatures. Poor excuse to shoot an animal, perhaps, but one that certainly helped alleviate the guilt. But what about the kitten, the weaker creature? It goes without saying the kitten would be easier target of the two, but choosing would be the squitting decision for anyone. Even if the kitten had no chance to survive, it was still too senseless to carry out. And to Aoko, Tsuchiro was the choice.
てっきり私もそうだと思ってた。
When she had felt a sinking feeling in the school classroom, she ignored it. There was no getting around what must be done, she told herself. Until that is, Tsuchiro went and said what he did, causing her resolve to waver. But the discomfort in the chest did not stem from any guilt she may have felt. She could care less for Tsuchiro. He was weak and would be incredibly easy to deal with. Yet for some reason she could not dispel her reservations. A freshman student who moved to the city from the middle of nowhere with no family to speak of. You would notice if they were suddenly disappear compared to a person of some renown. If she were to kill him, it would be simple as wringing a cat's neck, and it all served to just piss her off. It was too lucky, like everything was neatly handed to her. She
信じられない。私嫌がってる。これは違う。こんなの私じゃない。
彼、首に布を巻いていたわね。
Scheiße. Da ist der Stecker gerade rausgeflogen. If he had something rubbed over his deck. A wholly unrelated topic. Or could return to his senses.
ええ、水泳部の首とかけていたのかしら。
Alice had put much thought into this, as it had deeper meaning to her somehow.
そういえばあいつ初めて会った時も首に布巻いてたっけ。襟を行儀よく締めてるから目立たないけど。
The conversation turned to idle nonsense, and though it solved none of her current problems, it did help calm down Oko's frizzled nerves.
サンキュー。落ち着いたわアリス。それと気合も入った。善は急げ。あいつが言いふらす前に決着をつけよう。
Pumped once more, Aoko turned her back to the school gate. For now they would retire to imagine and prepare for battle.
いいけど、いつどこで彼を殺すの？
She quietly, so as not to be overwhelmed by anyone else. Normally I would have to Ger Eng in this Isle of Alice, out in the open, as they were, but this was far from the normal situation.
今日の夜、場所はとっておきの夢の国よ。
She gave a fearless laugh. Strange places sound like the kind one would make when meeting their lover. So. Back wollte ich nicht. Girls of Tonight. So what if it's uncharacteristic? Secret Resolve. Night Calls. Das waren die letzten 4 Kapitel. Als nächstes kommt Night of the Witches 1. Ich muss sagen, ich hätte Lust weiterzumachen, aber leider will ich mich noch rasieren, duschen und eine Glasur für die Kuchen machen. Also habe ich jetzt gespeichert und wir werden mal anders weitermachen. Dann mal adios und vierte.